Hey, welcome to the show. Secondhand blasters, let's go. Gonna break it down, piece by piece. Nerf's got a secret we'll release.
What is up, Nerf Nation? It's your boy Normatico with another blaster review. We are very close to Halloween, and today I decided to go ahead and actually review the X-Shot Horrorfire Insanity Doomsday Blaster. Now, the Insanity line has been pretty good for X-Shot so far. Really cool. You can combine the blasters, make one gigantic Mega Blaster, and this is no different. Now, the Doomsday itself, it is a reshell of another blaster that came out with their, their Dino Attack series, which was a series that I did not really get a chance to review very much of when it was on the shelves, mainly because I did not start my channel until after it was already on its way out. Now, this blaster itself, it does feel pretty comfortable. It has a nice little stock here, and it is a shotgun-style blaster. It does have a revolving barrel that can hold up to 8 darts, and the blaster itself does come with 16 of their air pocket Insanity darts, which is kind of nice. You can reload the blaster at least one time. You do have one Picatinny rail up here, one on this side, and one on the other side as well. And I believe that the gimmick on this blaster is that when you pump, this little foam saw does rotate. Now, whether or not you're going to be able to actually use this for melee, that's entirely up to you. Most club rules will not allow this because that is too hard of a plastic. But this right here, it is kind of soft. So maybe for play at home. Now, to operate this blaster, of course, it is just a single prime. And that does rotate it. That's kind of nice. That rotates the actual chamber, and it primes the blaster at the same time. Then you just pull the trigger, and it does fire. Now, these blasters typically get right around the 70 to 75 FPS range. We're going to test that in the chronograph, and we're also going to do the distance test as well. Now, to connect the blaster, you would actually use the connector that comes with the Horrorfire. I believe it is the Doom Hammer, and this should just pop in to one of those sides like so, and then the other blaster would pop onto the other side of the Doom Hammer, and that creates your super blaster. If you did not see my review of the Doom Hammer, go back a few videos. It is there. That's a fun blaster. It is a reshell of a Crusher, but it is nice. Now, one of the things I will point out is it does have this cool little skeletal design on it, which is kind of nice. I might actually come in with some dry pastels, maybe darken it up a little bit, make it look a little bit dirtier, and more of a actual wastelandish feel, because that is what I feel they were going for here. The stock itself, of course, that is just a traditional stock, and it is pretty comfortable when you chicken wing it like so. I'll be honest with you, this blaster, it is something that's going to be fun for people who are fans of the horror genre, and who want to do a nice little cosplay piece. You can paint this up, remove the X-Shot. I'll be honest with you, you know what? I can't wait to see what the community does with a blaster like this when it comes to modifying it and painting it up, because the shell is something that it's already there. The base is there. You don't have to do much actual cutting or anything like that. You just have to do some paint work on here, and it would look really neat. But that's not what you're here for. Let's take a look at the numbers and see how it performs.
Old or new, we'll check the scene. Worth the bucks or just a dream. For kids, for teens, for the keen. We'll test the best you've ever seen. Blast away, day by day. We'll find the ones that played away. Secondhand blasters, you know the name. In this game, we rise to fame. Feel that beat, it's coming in hot. Drums are pumping, hit the spot. Blasters fired, we won't stop. Hey, tune in now, we're on top. Hey.
Alright, a distance test with the Doomsday by Zuru, and we are actually dealing with a steady 5 mile an hour, headwind. So we're probably going to get a little bit of an adjustment on the distance numbers here, but let's try it out. I'll be back with those numbers. All right, so with the straight shot, we got 55 feet, and with the angled shot, we hit originally 75 feet. That was with a headwind. When I actually shot it again after the wind had died down, it went over 85 feet. So that is a decent performance from the Doomsday Blaster for what it is. For a non-competitive blaster, it's okay, especially for the $14 price point. Up next though, my final thoughts regarding the Doomsday.
Hit the spot, blasters fire, we won't stop. Hey, tune in now, we're on top. Hey, feel that beat, it's coming in hot. Drums up.
Okay, so I am back with my final thoughts regarding the Horrorfire Doomsday Blaster. You know what? I like this thing. I like it more than I should, actually. So for $14.97, here's what you get. You get a decent performing blaster that is going to actually be something that kids are going to want to play with. Let me explain why. First of all, performance-wise, you are above what we call elite standards, so that is perfect. The soft darts here, they are firing at a velocity where people are going to have fun, but it's not too hard of a velocity that you're not going to be able to play with this indoors. If your clubs have a sub 100 FPS round, this is an okay choice because, again, you might not hit 100 FPS with it, but these darts will travel a good distance and they are pretty accurate. And in close quarters, it's kind of fun, I'm not going to lie. One thing I do want to actually tell you about is this little, I guess, rotating saw thing. You can actually move this without firing the blaster just by priming it, and then you can keep on priming it. I know that's kind of loud, but it keeps on spinning. And you just keep on spinning that pedal ad nauseum. Now, I know that as a parent, that's going to get annoying if a kid keeps on doing that. And then, of course, you do have to press that trigger, in order to get that spring to release. The other cool thing about this blaster, and I noticed this after I started playing with it, it does have an integrated sight in it. And let me show you. The two little horns of that skull right there, that acts as a center point with the front of the rail. And that is how you aim with this thing. So pretty decent and pretty cool. I like the way that they integrated that into the design itself. And honestly, it just has a lot of fun to this. This blaster, it basically gives you a nostalgia vibes to the old Z-Strike series from Hasbro, which if you've watched the channel before, I've actually made it very clear. Z-Strike, in my humble opinion, is peak Hasbro design and fun elements combined into one. It's a gimmick. It's great. It's fun. Kids 8 and above are going to want to play with that thing. Kids younger than 8 are also going to want to play with it as well. Now, who is this blaster for? The box says 8 and up. I highly recommend 8 and up, honestly. And here's why I wouldn't recommend for younger kids. You know, maybe 7 would be the maximum or the lowest I would go. So you do have this foam blade, and it does not hurt if you just do that against somebody's skin. However, a younger kid's going to see this, and they're going to want to actually whack really hard with that. The problem with that is that right at the edge of the foam blade, that's actually hard plastic, and then this right here is plastic as well. And what's going to happen is a 6-year-old's going to try to actually wham somebody with this thing, and they're going to have a bad day because no one wants to get gonked upside the head with plastic. Yeah, says the adult who's been hit many a times. Not fun. Not fun at all. Now, the trigger itself, really cool. I do like this thing. It actually holds up pretty well. It is a perfect buttstock size for you to actually aim with this thing. So, yeah, good design on behalf of Zuru when they designed this blaster. Now, what I will tell you, though, Zuru, you're starting to fall into a pattern here. If you keep on re-releasing the blaster designs, but just with a different color scheme or a different, shell type, you're going to get called out because that is what kind of Hasbro started to do, and in my opinion, that's where you saw their quality start to decline. Don't even get me started on Elite 2.0 versus the standard Elites. Now, this actual design change, it is sufficiently different, in my opinion, that you'll get a pass from me. I've not seen anything incorporating the rotating barrel with this style of a buttstock. Honestly, at least I haven't. I know that they have shotgun-style blasters, but this one still is classified as original in my opinion. They do have that dinosaur attack one that they had, which had a little rotating thing right here as well. But I don't think it was actually something that rotated with the Prime. I have one of those somewhere in a box. I might have to open it up and compare and contrast. But yeah, the rotating barrels, let me just say one thing here. Zuru, fantastic job with this. Your actual barrel systems tend to be better than most of the competition. Dart Zone is very close. In fact, I would say that Dart Zone, it goes Zuru, Dart Zone, and then Hasbro when it comes to them having rotating barrels. So yeah. Also, the design on this thing, that clear red looks really sharp with the orangish brown. It just screams Halloween. This is fall colors, and for the spooky season, as I call it, you know, this is just great color theming. I love it. I did not expect that I would enjoy this blaster as much as I did, and for $15, you know what? I am not upset that I bought this. I wish I could say the same about all of the Hasbro products, but Zuru, you'll get my money all the time as long as you have this kind of performance and quality. Now, I will say that the plastic does feel a little bit cheap, as if they used something that was recycled, but I'm not going to dig them too hard because it is respectively cheap, but it is better quality than some of the other Hasbro blasters when it comes to the plastics used. So again, kind of comparing apples to oranges here. When it comes to comparing to Zuru blasters though, solid quality. It doesn't feel like it's going to break in my hands either, which is kind of nice. Yeah. If you actually like my content, I would love for you to go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I do try to pump out as much content as possible. If not, you know, I apologize. I wish I could win you over. But I do want to thank you all for watching Secondhand Blasters. Until next time, keep on blasting.
We're on top.